I can take you home, Alex.
This man is definitely the toughest god of death of the year. The ferocious wound an inch deep on his forehead is directly sutured with thread without anesthesia. After all, this guy dares to massacre a casino with hundreds of people by himself. Of course, the leading man Scott Adkins is also very powerful. He has won multiple Hollywood awards, and has even become the king of Hollywood's most cost-effective action movies. With his solid martial arts foundation, fans say that as long as they see Scott's name, they know it's definitely a very exciting action movie. The leading man Adkins strikes hard at the bandit, who wants to rob with a broadsword. Then he suddenly kicks away the accomplice of the bandit behind. At this time, the man with the knife actually launches a sneak attack. Seeing that his accomplice has been knocked down, another bandit still wants to resist stubbornly, but is hit by Adkins' heavy punch. After suffering 22 punches, the man can only fall down unwillingly. Then Adkins comes to a cemetery. Shortly after staying there, he goes to a villa and follows a car to the school. Seeing a girl getting out of the car, his expression changes subtly right away. The girl's name is Lisa, and she is the daughter of Vincent, the gang boss. Vincent dotes on Lisa especially, and the picture of the father and daughter together is very warm and happy. At the same time, Billy, a man with scars all over his back, sharpens his knife. He comes to a dessert shop, orders a Black Forest small cake and stays until evening. The store manager steps forward to say that it's closing soon, hoping that the customer can finish eating and leave quickly. Billy suddenly asks a strange question. I want to know if the store manager has given me a gift this week. This person is definitely a bit perverted. The store manager is going to stay away from him, but is stopped by him and pressed onto a chair. At this time, Billy takes out an iron hand, and after removing it, the knife hidden inside is revealed. The store manager thinks she's going to die here, but Billy only cuts a piece of cake and hands it to her. The store manager quickly eats it. Billy satisfactorily takes a bite too, then frowns. A patrol police car suddenly stops at the door of the shop, and the police warn Billy to leave right away with a gun. Billy is wronged and about to cry, but he doesn't say anything and exits the dessert shop. Then the police help the store manager close the door, and kindly offer to send her home.
I can take you home, Alex.
Lisa is about to go to school under the escort of bodyguards, but is suddenly forced to stop on the way. A man insists on blocking the front of the car to sell windshield washer fluid, even patting the car window furiously. Not wanting to be fired for this, the bodyguard gets out of the car to teach the man a lesson, but is knocked down with one punch. Looking closely, the man is actually Adkins. He quickly gets rid of the two bodyguards, drives to catch Lisa, who escapes in the chaos, stuffs her into the trunk and drives away from the scene. Then the two bodyguards go back to report with a dark face. Vincent wants to know who the kidnapper is, but the bodyguard says the other person is well disguised. Vincent angrily knocks the bodyguard to the ground, then orders other lackeys to continue attacking. Adkins takes the person to a wilderness. After preparing mentally, he opens the trunk, but is still caught off guard by Lisa. Next, a chase battle begins between the two sides. Adkins chases while shouting that he just wants to have a chat. With great difficulty, he forces her to stop, takes out water and asks if Lisa is thirsty. Even kindergarten children know not to take things from strangers. Lisa is even more vigilant, saying, "There must be something in it." Adkins explains that there's nothing in the water, takes out a photo, and puts it on the ground for the other person to see. Carefully,
Your mother, she sent me here to come get you.
Lisa yells that he's lying. Her mother Ellie died 5 years ago. Adkins says he certainly knows that. Ellie once said years ago that if anything ever happened to her, her daughter must leave Vincent. But Lisa is smart and wants to know why he's coming now. Adkins replies that it's a long story, apologizes for putting Lisa in the trunk, and asks if they can get in the car and leave now. But Lisa still doesn't believe the sudden stranger, and thinks the other person must have bad intentions. Seeing that the girl still doesn't believe him, Adkins takes out a pistol and puts it on the ground, telling Lisa that if she's afraid, she can point the gun at his head. Anyway, they must leave here quickly. But after Lisa gets the gun, she suspects there are no bullets, so Adkins asks her to try firing. The two finally get back in the car, but Lisa insists on going back to find Vincent, and a fierce argument breaks out between them. Finally, Lisa pulls the trigger, only to find there are no bullets. She calls him a liar, and now the right to speak returns to Adkins. Unluckily, the car is almost out of gas, so Adkins has to drive to a nearby gas station, again stating that he won't hurt Lisa, and asking her to stay in the car. But Lisa sees a group of young men playing ball nearby, rushes out of the car and yells for help, while the guys help block Adkins. She runs to use a public phone to contact Vincent. At this time, Adkins is still dealing with the guys, but unexpectedly, they can't understand each other, so he has to use force to make them obey. After solving the current problem, Adkins drags Lisa away and stuffs her back into the car. Lisa is so angry that she kicks the seat frantically, and Adkins is really headache.
I'm your father!
But Lisa simply doesn't believe it, and says she's hungry and wants to eat. At the same time, Vincent's men call the psychotic killer Billy, tell him about Lisa's kidnapping, and say it's a good opportunity. What's the connection between Billy and Vincent? At this point, Lisa is finally silenced by food, but the speed at which she eats makes Adkins anxious, so he asks if she can hurry up. Lisa complains that she was locked in the trunk for hours, and didn't eat anything, so why can't she eat more now? Then she says that if Adkins is really her father, where has he been all these years? Adkins replies that he spent 15 years in prison, and as he speaks, his eyes involuntarily glance at her necklace. Sensing something strange, Lisa quickly covers it with her hand, and asks what he wants to do. Adkins says he just thinks of Ellie, and Lisa says she misses her too.
I think Vicente killed her.
Lisa roars that it's absolutely impossible, but as soon as she finishes speaking, a gun is pressed against her forehead, but Adkins can't understand the other person, so he asks Lisa to translate. The gun's safety isn't on. Here, Adkins is still fighting with the enemies, but Lisa is taken away. Adkins angrily kicks down the man blocking him, then turns around and knocks down another with a heavy punch, finally solving the trouble and running out the door. He's surprised to find the car tires have been blown out, and this sudden group has already taken Lisa far away. Adkins is so angry that he runs back to interrogate their accomplice, asking the other person to communicate with him in English, but the guy only knows one swear word. Adkins picks up the fire extinguisher next to him. A flurry of boxing punches rain down, and the man who was just swearing gets his teeth knocked out. Lisa is taken to a casino, and meets the mastermind who hired killers to snatch her. But this boss is just doing it for money. He was commissioned by Vincent. Lisa then receives a call from Vincent and briefly reports the situation. She asks if he was involved in Ellie's death. Vincent clearly pauses at this, but still says of course not. He was the one who loved Ellie the most in the world. Lisa is actually swayed a bit, so she brings up Adkins and asks Vincent if her biological father is really Adkins. The other person hangs up the phone right away. There's clearly something fishy here. Otherwise, why would a gang boss lose his composure like this? Just then, the casino boss checks the monitor and sees someone charging in, thinking it's others coming for Lisa's bounty. The casino boss is so scared that he quickly leads his men to flee, but the one bloodbath the casino isn't Adkins, it's the psychotic killer Billy. He kills anyone in his way quickly, killing not only the blocking bodyguards but also casino guests. The casino boss doesn't want the huge bounty to fail, so he quickly hides Lisa, and runs out with a gun to check the situation. But Billy is not only wretched in appearance, his strength is also top-tier psychotic, even overpowered. Billy, who can fight 100 with one, remains unharmed even in a hail of bullets. Finally, both sides run out of ammo, so they have to fight hand-to-hand. But unexpectedly, Billy still doesn't fall behind. A group of lackeys are no match for him at all. The casino boss is so scared that he can only hide behind a pillar as a coward. Seeing that his men are almost wiped out, he plans to take his savings and run. Then Lisa checks the first floor, realizing the danger. She quickly picks up the gun on the table, and prepares to sneak out in the chaos, but Billy has sharp eyes. Even while busy killing, he can quickly lock onto target prey. Lisa, who makes eye contact with him, is so scared that she fires wildly, but the bullets seem to have an active deflection system. She empties the magazine but still misses. This action even angers Billy. He breaks the neck of the enemy beside him, and walks toward Lisa. In the nick of time, Adkins successfully arrives. He first lands a heavy punch on Billy, making nosebleeds splash all over his face. With the leading man aura snatched, Billy can't tolerate it, Adkins is beaten so hard that he almost vomits bile, and then finds the other person has an external cheat iron hand. At this time, Lisa on the upstairs hears the sound and pokes her head out. Adkins quickly tells her to hide. Billy realizes the two have the same goal, and is determined to send the other to hell. But Adkins picks up anything usable at hand to counterattack. But Billy can block the attacks with his iron hand every time, and seizes the opportunity to press him against the wall. Then a grappling throw with a heavy punch follows. Although Adkins struggles to resist, he still gets a tooth broken, and Billy doesn't give him any chance to catch his breath. He steps forward right away and stamps on him. Lisa upstairs quickly shouts to stop him. After all, from Vincent's reaction, Adkins is very likely her biological father, and this trick really works. Billy switches targets and charges toward her. Adkins suddenly flashes in front to block, but is knocked down the stairs after only a few punches. Without obstruction, Billy quickly reaches Lisa and is about to succeed. Then Adkins yells for Lisa to run, and then tussles with Billy again. The two are fighting hand-to-hand well, but suddenly the casino boss rushes out with a gun, and strafes at them wildly, forcing Adkins to jump out the window to save his life. He thought the boss would be the final winner, but the gun runs out of bullets in the nick of time, so Billy sticks out his head, rushes forward and kills the other person. After finishing, he prepares to go out to find Lisa, but is blocked by Adkins again. He kicks the other person away, planning to end everything completely. Unexpectedly, Lisa is really loyal, but the previous collision causes the car to completely break down. The two can only run hand in hand into a nearby village, after going through life and death together. The relationship between Lisa and Adkins obviously eases a lot later. The two come to a market, and Lisa asks the question in her heart. Adkins said Vincent was bad to Ellie, but she never saw her mother bullied. Adkins says, "What does a child know? Your mother was a strong woman. If she was bullied, she definitely wouldn't tell the child. Besides, Vincent is a gang boss. How can he convince others if he's not ruthless?"
But he loved my mother, and he loves me.
Adkins can't understand why Lisa is still a bit naive, and roars that it was Vincent who got him imprisoned for 15 years, and stole Ellie from him. Lisa yells she doesn't believe it and turns to leave. Seeing his daughter has the same temper as him, Adkins says nothing and can only step forward to coax her, asking if Lisa wants to change clothes or eat something. In the meantime, Billy finds a restroom to clean his wound. There's a new gash on his head, but he doesn't even blink, doesn't use anesthetic, and takes out thread to stitch it up himself. By now, Lisa has changed her clothes, but Adkins keeps chattering beside her, saying that he, Ellie, and Vincent used to be a team, mainly robbing the rich to benefit themselves. Ellie was good at using her beauty to confuse guards, while he and Vincent were responsible for surprising the enemies. One day later, Ellie said she was pregnant. He was so panicked at the time that he wanted to quit the business and live a normal life. But Vincent said raising a child was expensive, and proposed one last big job. The operation went very smoothly later, and they withdrew with a large sum of cash. Lisa asks Adkins how he was caught and imprisoned. If the operation went smoothly, Adkins says Vincent framed him, deliberately leaving clues for the police. They caught him with a simple check, resulting in a 15-year sentence, and the loss of his beloved woman and child. Although unsure of the truth of these words, Lisa still thinks Vincent wouldn't kill her mother. Two bad teenagers are having a beauty pageant on the street. Seeing Billy appear in front, they rudely tease him a few words. They are about to meet their end. Billy says he wants to requisition their car. The man laughs and asks what his identity is to dare say that. Billy asks him to say it again. The man's hot temper flares up right away, and he quickly gets out of the car to show the other person how to write the word coward. Adkins and Lisa come to the park. Because Lisa thinks of her mother, she can't help humming a song. Adkins says right away this is Ellie's favorite tune, adding that the huge diamond necklace was actually bought by him. It's very hard and can cut many seemingly tough objects. Lisa asks curiously if Adkins saw Ellie after being imprisoned. The other person replies that he did. One day, a prison guard said someone was here to visit him. He guessed it was Ellie at once, but Ellie was crying at the time, saying she could no longer stand living with Vincent, and wanted to take her daughter away from that den of evil. but fearing she might fail, she left a backup plan, asking Adkins to protect Lisa after his release. 3 weeks later, he received the news of Ellie's death. After finishing the sad topic, Adkins says they must move to another location. In the meantime, Vincent finally can't help but take action himself. But when he arrives at the casino, he finds bodies everywhere and blood flowing like a river. So he runs upstairs to check the surveillance, and discovers Billy's presence by zooming in on the screen.
He had the devil on their tail.
At night, Adkins and the other person stroll along the street, occasionally trying which cars are unlocked, and finally actually find one, so the two get in the car right away to look for a spare key. After searching for a long time without success, Adkins can only hot-wire the car. He also says he will definitely do what he promised Ellie, send Lisa to her aunt in the U.S. Lisa yells that she won't go, and wants to go back to find Vincent. She says she has a good life with Vincent, having luxury cars, mansions and good friends. She doesn't want to live with an aunt she's never met at all. She also scolds Adkins for not being a qualified father at all, planning his child's life randomly and dumping her on others. Adkins replies helplessly that he really doesn't know how to be a father. After all, he spent so many years in prison, and no one ever taught him how to raise a child. Therefore, he can only send Lisa to his trusted sister-in-law. The argument between them grows more intense. Suddenly, the car owner returns after shopping, and Lisa takes the opportunity to get out and run. Adkins has to pull out a gun to fend off the owner, but unexpectedly, Lisa turns back, abandons Adkins and drives away. Just then, another car comes from the front. Adkins thinks he can catch a ride, but almost gets crushed into mincemeat, because the other person is Billy. How could he be so kind? Soon he successfully finds Lisa parked by the roadside, and gets out of the car before she dials the phone. Lisa flees in panic, desperately pounding on the doors of houses with lights on, but no one is willing to meddle, so she can only keep running and is caught shortly after. Billy uses his classic routine, asking if she has given him a gift this week, and takes out an apple as he speaks, but Lisa says she doesn't like apples. But Billy is a man of principles. When killing women, he usually likes to let them taste something sweet first. How can he proceed if she doesn't eat? So he orders her to take a bite, and Lisa takes the apple unwillingly.
Fuck you, psycho!
Lisa runs and looks back, then hurries toward the sound of Adkins' voice when she hears it, but she sees him pull a gun on her, panics, squats down, and finds Billy chasing after her. Billy and Adkins start a shootout, but unluckily, Billy reaches Lisa first and teases, "Even if I get shot dead right now, my muscles will still twitch and pull the trigger." Adkins certainly doesn't want his daughter to be hurt. He drops his gun, begs the other person not to harm Lisa, and then lies on the ground compliantly. Billy then controls both of them, beats Adkins a few times to vent his anger, and asks him to reveal his identity, but Adkins keeps his mouth shut, making Lisa beside him anxious.
Who are you?
He's my father!
This plot is clearly different from what was said. Billy asks if Lisa isn't Vincent's daughter. Lisa yells that Adkins is actually her biological father. Finding it rather amusing, Billy knocks Adkins unconscious. The next day, Vincent finds Adkins hanging from a tree. Seeing Adkins' current wretched state, Vincent says he should have killed him completely back then, but Adkins says he can't die, for he still needs to save Lisa. This angers the other person. Vincent yells that he raised Lisa, so she should belong to him, and as he speaks, kicks away the tire under Adkins' feet. But before he reveals why he's here, Vincent still lowers him down.
You killed her, you son of a bitch!
Then Adkins is taken into a car. On the road, Vincent says he didn't kill Ellie. As for why he framed Adkins and stole Ellie, it's actually simple. They often robbed banks, and stealing was their nature. What they wanted, they would fight for recklessly. Suddenly, Billy calls Vincent, saying he's waiting at the old place, then even reveals the person who tipped him off. At this point, Adkins asks who the madman who caught Lisa is, and Vincent doesn't hide it. It turns out that Billy is a top-notch golden medal killer in the industry. Vincent once hired him for a job, but the other person was too ruthless and crossed the line, so he wanted to solve this trouble, shoot Billy with anesthetic darts strong enough to knock out an elephant, and send 15 of his best men to take him to an abandoned factory for guarding, planning to kill Billy with his own hands. But when Vincent arrived, he found all his men had become corpses, and there was even one of Billy's hands at the scene.
They must have cut only one of his hands.
Vincent regrets provoking a madman. Soon they arrive at the place. Vincent unties the bindings on Adkins' hands and says, "Encircle front and back like before," but he doesn't leave any weapons for the other person at all. It's too unkind. Then Vincent searches in the abandoned factory. Shortly after, he finds 2 lackeys have been killed, and he himself isn't better off. He's even captured before the battle starts, then taken to Lisa, seeing Vincent come to save her. Lisa excitedly yells "Dad," but Billy doesn't want to watch the warm scene of fatherly love and filial piety. He starts the conveyor belt right now to drag Lisa away. Vincent takes off running. Billy had intended to use this trick to avenge his severed hand, to see the father saw off his daughter's hand with his own eyes, but is led away by Adkins to another place. Soon Vincent reaches the end of the conveyor belt, and finds that if Lisa comes, she will definitely die, so he tries every means to stop the machine, but fails after trying for a long time. Adkins and Billy wrestle together. After taking a solid punch, Billy tells Adkins the truth of that year, saying Vincent once hired him to make Ellie disappear. He was very satisfied to receive such a task. These words make Adkins very angry. He rushes forward wanting to tear the other person to pieces, but he is after all no match for Billy. Perhaps wanting to play a bit more, Billy reveals again, "Vincent wanted Ellie to disappear without pain and pretend she was suicide, but I prefer to kill prey brutally." These words are indeed very effective, forcing Adkins to stand up and fight again. At the same time, Vincent tries for a long time but can't stop the machine, so he picks up the saw Billy prepared for him. Lisa is so scared that she keeps shouting no, listening to her pleas. Vincent finally can't bring himself to do it. At this point, Billy catches up with Adkins again. Both sides use all their lifelong skills, landing heavy punches in a desperate fight to the death. Adkins finally finds a chance to strangle the opponent, but is stabbed by a hidden dagger, so he can only rush to save people first. But his eagerness to save people distracts him, and he is stabbed to the ground by the chasing Billy. At this time, Billy catches Vincent again and forces him to confess his sins, seeing that Lisa is about to be crushed by the machine. Vincent finally reveals the secret hidden for years. He admits that to prevent Ellie from taking Lisa away, he hired someone to kill her. After speaking, he asks Billy to let her go, but the other person says it's too late. In the nick of time, Adkins yells, "Use the diamond." Lisa quickly throws the necklace into the crusher, and it actually succeeds in stopping the machine. The against the odds operation makes Billy furious. He drops Vincent and is about to step forward to kill Lisa, but is pulled aside by Adkins. Billy unwillingly uses his last strength to find a scapegoat, and the final outcome is that he and Vincent both have their brains smashed out together. Lisa looks down in disbelief, then quickly comes to Adkins and cries bitterly. Lisa comes to her mother's grave to pay respects. Just when I wonder why the male lead's grave is missing, he appears with a crutch. The father and daughter hug tightly. On the other side, where no one pays attention, Billy's body disappears strangely. The film ends here. The most brilliant part of the movie has to be the action scenes. Lead actor Scott Adkins really has real kung fu. He was already amazing and undisputed, and this time he goes all out. The movie doesn't have gimmicky gunfights, all are bare-handed battles and fights with knives and sticks. The real close-quarter combat makes people blood boil, especially his third on-a-screen duel with old rival Marco Zehrer. The two cooperate tacitly like an inseparable CP, with fierce and smooth movements, and no boring parts throughout. Action movie fans can charge in with their eyes closed, but there are also some flaws. For example, the villain can fight 100 with one and ignore any gun attacks, but is later ended by a saw. It always feels too hasty for the villain to go off screen like this. Moreover, the gang boss clearly knows Billy is dangerous. 15 masters were killed by him before, but he only takes 3 lackeys to save people later. He doesn't really want to save people at all. If you like my channel, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.